Hi guys, I'm Dennis. Welcome to my channel. In today's episode, I'm going to rearrange or restyle my really messy plant shelf. Okay, just to give you a little bit of context, this is the main area where I keep most of my house plants. And as some of you guys may know, I don't have any artificial light or any grow lights for my plants. The only light source is coming from this very big balcony that gets very good morning sun. And from the look of it, I think the plants like it. They are not complaining, so they are growing quite wildly actually. So that's also a reason why I need to reorganize them. Even though I really do like this very lush jungly vibes. So let's rearrange them to make them look nicer, and how I can also maximize this shelf space. This is the top of the shelf, which I think is really underutilized because this is the level that has a lot of space in terms of height. So I can actually put taller plants here. But yeah, this is really sad looking. The main plant here is this Syngonium chair pants. Before that, I think I should remove all the plants and give the shelf a good wipe. It's 9:30 in the morning and the sun is merciless. So sometimes I have to close the balcony door so that the plants here, they don't get direct sunlight. Okay, I have this sheer curtain here, which I will use sometimes to block out the sun even further on a super hot day. One of the main reasons why I want to rearrange the plants here is also because of this piper that has been growing up along the side of this shelf, but it has reached the end. And yeah, the newer leaves are not becoming bigger. In fact, they are turning smaller. So I need to move this down, all the way down, to give it more height for it to grow further. So I'll do that with this Piper crocatum, as well as this Piper sylvatica, because it has grown downwards, and as you can see, the leaves are just not supported, and they are becoming really small. So let's see what I can do for them. I've cleared all the plants that are on the floor, so I've left with this Rhaphidophora tetrasperma that's climbing up this bamboo pole. Not sure I'm going to do with this, but I'm just going to move that aside as well. And some of these potted plants here, this Adansonii that I propagated, as well as that Calathea Geopotia Doughty. Let me move this monster Thai constellation away so that I can have enough space to properly clean this plant shelf. Okay, let me try to move this. Take a look at the mess we have here. All these plants are growing wildly, and I think some of them have intertwined with one another. Look at this Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. It was just a small cutting, I think probably about 4 or 5 leaf cutting from here that I've potted up, and it has grown all the way down, and yep, right to the back of this plant shelf here. Yeah, and it's peeping up from here, and I think it's going to grow further upwards if I don't do anything about it. Okay, I've moved this aside so we can have a better look at the plants here, totally unblocked. Look at this Palienio repens that has grown all the way down and is literally clawing on the floor. Okay, I'm going to show you this silver cloud. Oh, boo! What is that? Hello. Yeah, this is silver cloud synapses, and yeah, it's in need of a little bit of water. It's looking a bit curled up. And look how it has grown down all the way. But because it's trailing down, the leaves are getting smaller. But look, it has grown all the way down to the last, to the bottom of the shelf, and it has grown inwards as well. So now it is climbing up at the back of the wall. And this is a propagation box of Hoya cuttings. I've left it here. It's really humid in there. Going to move this out. You know what? I'm just going to move out all the pots of plants on the shelf. I'll move it somewhere, give it a good wipe. Get all the unnecessary pots at the back, at the bottom shelf here. Nothing's growing out of them. They are just pots, empty pots, and some dead Hoyas here. And yep, a neglected propagation box. So I'm just going to remove all these empty pots. It's a philodendron silver metal or silver sword, the hastatum. Yeah, it's grown quite nicely. The leaves are looking really nice and big. But I think it needs something to climb on. This is a Hoya memorial, trailing down really nicely. A lot of new leaves. Okay, let me start moving away the pots of plants. Look how dirty the shelf is. I'm going to clean this up with some water and detergent. I'm definitely going to remove this roughy. So many plants to propagate, so little time and space. Okay, I've cleaned the shelf. So what I'm going to do is to bring back some of the plants, but I'm going to move them around to see what is the best location for them according to their lighting needs, because the plants that are at the back will get lesser light. Okay, but before that, the most important plants are these two pipers, the crocatum as well as this sylvaticum. I want to place them at the bottom of the shelf such that I can let them climb up the sides of it. Okay, I've settled the two most important plants here, which are the pipers. I've moved them to the bottom level of the shelf so that they have ample space to climb up. Actually, not much space left. This will grow pretty fast, pretty quickly, so it's only a matter of time. So that's the sylvaticum. I've moved to the bottom as well. So, okay, let me close up a little bit. As you can see, there is a lot of extra vine here which are without leaves, so I had to twirl it around and then tie it up so that it will not take up so much space. No idea what to do with this roughy. As you can see, it's really long. I know I need to propagate this, it's a matter of time. But meanwhile, I let it trail down. It's quite nice. It's kind of like a green curtain. As well as this synapses silver cloud. I'll let it trail at the moment too, because I can't bear to remove it from the wall. So the rest of the plants will go in and fill up the space. But not all the plants will go back, because some pots are already empty. So I've a lot more other plants here I can choose from. They are currently sitting on the floor. I don't think I'm able to show you how I position them, but I'm just going to show you the finished product eventually. Okay, let me give this poor Synapses a drink. It's really all curled up. Okay, this is the final look, the after look of the whole process. I've spared you the agony of watching me rearranging the pots of plants. So I would say this is slightly neater, but I still have a lot of trailing plants because I want them to grow out and to give that very lush feel. Yeah, compared to before, I think the plants were growing wildly too, but in a very messy manner. So yeah, let's take a closer look at the plants. Take a look at the top of the shelf. I've placed most of my anthurium and philodendrons here. Plants which I think will grow taller, so I need to have that space. This is the crystallinum. This is a new leaf, still looking pretty pristine. I've lost the older ones. This is a philodendron Plaumanii, dark face. That's the Florida goes behind. We have a new leaf that just unfurled. And this is the Alocasia golden bone, growing out nicely. Alocasia dragon scale. I think it appreciates the light coming from here. And this is my single leaf cutting of the philodendron maximum, looking really nice. And some cuttings of the perennial repens, just trailing down. So this is my top shelf. Oh yeah, this is the cutting of the Rhaphidophora tetrasperma that was trailing downwards. So I placed it right in the middle of the top shelf and let it trail downwards. As you can see, it's really very long. Okay, the next shelf, I have this pothos and joy that is also trailing down. Yeah, look how beautiful the leaves are. Again, it's time for propagation, but I really like how this is trailing downwards together with the rest of the plants. So we have this jade Synapses here. Synapses silver cloud that is yeah, going all the way down and to the back of the wall. And this is a small specimen of the Synapses silver hero. Got it as a one leaf cutting. And this is a very beautiful cutting of pothos, Apiprinium aureum. Yeah, this is a pothos. The snow queen. So look at the variegation. Loving the sun here. Okay, the next level, I've moved the perennial repens up so that it has more space to trail down, but it's again almost reaching the floor. This is the darker side, so I've placed this blue oil fern. It doesn't really need a lot of light to retain this blue coloration. Looking really nice and shiny. And yeah, some cuttings in water. That is a tetrasperma, Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. And I've also moved the silver sword, this philodendron silver sword, up to give it more space to grow as well, to trail. These are the big leaves. And I've also moved the Hoya Memorial up so that again it has more space. So this is the overall effect. Yeah, that is an Anthurium crystallinum. One of the leaves have turned yellow. Okay, the next level down, I've placed this propagation box of Hoya cuttings here. And this is a darker area, so I've placed my Maranta nucleura, or what's left of it. Yeah, I'm trying to keep this 3-leaf stalk alive by making sure that the potting medium is not dry. And also the other one is Calathea, or the Jopothea, the pinstripe Calathea. Yeah, I think it doesn't really need a lot of light, so I think you'll be happy back there. Okay, but this is a light-loving plant. This is a Hoya pubercalyx splash. It needs a lot of light, so it stays here, further out. And finally, at the bottom of the shelf, not many plants. Of course, this Piper Sylvaticum is at the bottom, that climbs all the way up along the side of the shelf, together with this Piper crocatum. And okay, another shade-loving plant is this Calathea or Jopothea Doughty. This, I think it's called the lipstick Calathea as well. Given to me by a friend, and now is giving me all these new leaves which are really small. It goes here in a shade, and a slightly brighter spot. I have this Monstera adansonii. It doesn't really like super strong sun as well, so make sure it doesn't you know, get burnt. Yeah, so these are all my plants on the shelf. I would say this is pretty dense, but I still have a lot of space at the back, especially the bottom shelf. There's really not many plants, but yeah, just I'll keep it that way, because who knows, I might get more plants, right? One final look. Oh yeah, and there's still some floor space here, which I'm going to place some light-loving plants. As you can see, this is a very brightly lit area. Not forgetting the Rhaphidophora tetrasperma that was on the pole. I've moved it just next to the shelf. It gets some ambient light, but I think that's all it needs. Doesn't really need very bright light. So I'm the happiest with this Piper crocatum. I'm finally able to give it more space for it to climb up. I'm super happy with this because this was a 1-leaf cutting that is able to grow to such a magnificent plant. Well, I must say I really like this final look, but of course things may be moved around eventually. With new plants and you know, more propagations. So yeah, it's going to be fluid, but for now I like this look. Do give me some feedback. Thank you for watching this episode, and if you like contents like that, I hope you can consider subscribing to my channel. Meanwhile, take care, and I shall see you again in my next video. Remember to show your plants some love.